What's good, y'all? Exceed that. Welcome back to another message. If energy, if consciousness is everything, if energy is everything, how can I die? How does energy die? If I'm energy, if everything is energy, how can I die? See, that's the contradiction. What dies, quote unquote, is the ego that you label yourself with. Justin Travis, or whatever your name is, whatever title you want to slap onto your ego. That's what dies. How can I explain that? Death is basically portrayed from society, or portrayed from occultism, or portrayed to society from occultism. Excuse me. And it's shown to be this sad and depressing thing to not only harvest your energy, but to give you this perspective on what you're programmed into being, a human being. Because we're not human. If I'm energy, what is a human? Besides the perception that I'm given from Black Mirrors, from occultism, from inherited trauma, right? I'll show y'all the mountains right here and shit. But how can energy die? How can energy die if I am consciousness? And not I, as in Justin Travis. I as in I am that I am. I as in I am that I am not. Because I am not this physical body. I am not the words that I speak. Although contradict that, I am the words that I speak. Comes from my mind, right? But at the same time, I would never speak a language. So, getting into the topic of this video, how does energy die? Energy only transcends into a different level of consciousness. And I don't believe in reincarnation. To a point I do, but then I go against myself, because how can I reincarnate if, and also at the same time, I'm sorry, my mind is going everywhere. Let me get one thought at a time. I don't believe in reincarnation because I'm the one in the driver's seat. I'm the one who allows myself to stay at a certain consciousness level. I'm the one who allows myself to be entertained by occultism. I'm the one who allows myself to grow beyond that consciousness and live for myself and live for my spirit. I'm the one who judges myself daily. Not a man in the sky. That never made sense to me growing up. And no hate, it's all love, right? I'm just speaking from a standpoint of logic and reasoning and level-headedness, right? Before Christianity, before all these religions, what was there? Right. So, what defines God? In my opinion, I don't define it as God. I could define it as source, but it really has no name. But I am that I am, right? I am everything. There's jets flying by. I don't know if y'all hear me, but I'm nearby one of the military bases right now in San Diego. But I am basically viewing my outward appearance through my ego. Because if I create my reality, if the thoughts that I have, which are not mine, by the way, not all thoughts are mine, because why am I getting a thought of, no, let me not stop that. Let me not say that, but I'll reiterate what I was going to say. When you understand consciousness, you're able to put yourself in rooms without being there physically. You're able to receive thoughts, and you're able to really see how deep the mind goes. You're able to understand beings' mindsets, like a pedophile, like a criminal. I don't know. You're able to understand these things. Not that you would do that, but you're able to understand the perspective, and you wouldn't label it as evil. I'm just speaking for myself. You wouldn't label it as evil, but yes, it is evil to be a pedophile. It's evil. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's wrong. Morally, that's wrong. But to label it as evil, that's a contradiction. Because that's just perspective. There is no good or bad. There is no good or evil. It's perspective. So the perspective that you want to resonate your mindset at, whether that be at the 3D, the physical consciousness level, or beyond that. Right, so going into transcendence, I'm changing hands. Transcendence or quote unquote death. Occultists, Freemasonry, the Vatican Church, all these things, going into BlackRock, Rockefeller family, shit like that. It goes beyond a human mindset. And let me put it like this. Basically, the reason why death is portrayed to be sad is because these parasitic beings that control humans, and if you look, I forget what the act is or what the agreement was, but publicly, if you do your research, the government has made treaties with grays, if you want to call it grays. It's just another form of consciousness. But look into that. Why do you think there's stories of people getting abducted? People don't just say shit for no reason, which they do. But you can genuinely tell from someone's eye or someone's tone or someone's body language if they're telling the truth or not. To a point you can. But when you know yourself that deeply, you can tell. Stop attacking my leg. But that's why I don't believe that, and I know that a man in the sky is not going to judge me when I transcend, because that's just a human perception of what God would never call itself. The ocean it's not going to say I'm the ocean. The sky is not going to say I'm the sky, unless it was trying to deceive me in disguise, right? So look at that. That's crazy. But this was also asked by a viewer, and I appreciate you for commenting on the video. I need to do better on I should have brought that up at the beginning, but I'm just flowing with my thoughts right now. And it's a beautiful day today, right? So that's the end of this video. It's a short video, I know. But what consciousness you resonate at and you allow yourself to resonate at is where you will come back to. If you resonate in the physical, you will come back to the physical, because that's all you know. You will be attached to those emotional ties. You are not your emotions, but you can alchemize that into being a better being. I love y'all. I'm gone.